was surprised. Vince called me and said he had to work, and then he's called, you know what, I don't have to work. He said, let's go to the movies. I said, okay, cool. He said, I said, what are we seeing? He said, we're going to see Harriet.
Come on now.
And I said, I forgot, it came out. So as I thought about the movie, certain things just began to come to mind when you think about Harriet Tubman, right? So one of them is, and y'all just kind of follow me here. If you know the story of Harriet Tubman, as she went through her journey, she was given a name of Moses. And when I think about Moses, I think about that old Negro spiritual. And y'all follow me here. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. So we're talking about conquer in this season. Amen? And if we think about conquer, the definition of conquer is to defeat, to subdue, to overcome, or to overthrow. And as I sat there and I watched this story that I read so many years, I can remember just being a child in the second grade and learning about Harriet Tubman. And as I saw this movie come to life before my eyes, all I could see was conquer. Being embodied in a little bitty woman, probably no bigger than me. As you can see, I'm kind of dressed, inspired like Harriet Tubman today because I was so inspired by what I saw in the theater. So the story goes as follows. So Harriet Tubman obviously was born a slave and born into slavery, and she decided that she no longer wanted to live a life of slavery. She didn't want to have children born into slavery. So she decided that she would risk everything and run. And I remember in the movie, she went to her dad. She said, Dad, I gotta go. And he said, well, baby, if you must do it, I want you to remember one thing. Fear is your enemy. Now notice he didn't say the slave master is your enemy. He didn't say that this person is your enemy. He didn't say poverty was your enemy. He didn't say any of that was your enemy. He said fear is your enemy. But what does the Bible say in 1 John 4 and 18? That perfect love casts out all fear. Not some fear, but all fear. And so that's what I want you to know today, that perfect love casts out fear. And although she had an insatiable desire to be free, it was perfect love that revolutionized this world. You understand that perfect love, people cannot conceive it. They don't understand it. See, when Harriet left, she left because she thought about her unborn children, said, I do not want my children to be born in slavery. So because of the love she had for her unborn children, she said, I had to go. And that perfect love allowed her to go 100 miles on foot, through rough terrain, through the wolves, through the snakes, chasing behind her, leaving the slave master and everything behind her. See, perfect love casts out fear. So what I want you to know today, there was a lot of lessons in the story, She reminded me of David because she wasn't the ideal candidate to do this. She wasn't in the master's house, and she didn't have favor, and she didn't have light skin, and she didn't have any of the things that were a benefit to slaves at that time. She wasn't a strong man. She was a woman about my size. And when I saw the movie, all I could see was her running, holding up this long dress. I'm like, this woman ran 100 miles through rough terrain, jumping in water with a dress. So She wasn't the most likely candidate. When she got over to the other side, they said, well, who came with you? She said, nobody. Bring the music down just a little bit. She said, nobody. The man said, you can trust me. I know you came with somebody. She said, no, it was just me. So I want you to know that when you begin to follow your purpose and you begin to face fear and you begin to have that courage to face fear in the face, you're going to do things you never thought you could do. You're going to do things that's going to blow the minds of people all around you. But know that it was perfect love that got her to the other side. So that's the first lesson. And the second lesson, oh, it was so powerful. She got there and she was free, but she couldn't stay free by herself. She said, I gotta go back and get my family. So she went back. She said, I gotta get my husband. And I get my mama and my dad. And I gotta get my brothers and my sister. So they told her, you can't go back, Harriet. You can't go back, Harriet. And because it's too dangerous. So listen, this is what I want you to understand. What fear does, fear's goal is to keep you from getting to your desired destination. So what fear does is when it gets hard, it comes, taps you on your shoulder, and it reminds you of what you're risking, right? I remember when she was at the river, and the slave master was on one side and his people was on the other side, and she had nowhere to go but either back or in the river. And the slave master said, come on back, Harry. I ain't gonna hurt you. Come on back where it's safe. We gonna take it. That's what fear does. When you get ready to jump into your purpose, you get ready to do something you've never done before, fear come tap you on your shoulder. Come on, stay back here with me. But you gotta be like Harriet. Give me liberty or give me death. Because you're dying to slow down if you don't walk into your purpose. And I'd rather die than to not walk in my purpose. So here's another thing. God said, sometimes our plans are not his plans. Our ways are not his ways. She went back to get her husband and her family, and she found out that her husband had remarried because he thought she was dead. And as Vince and I sat there, he was like, she thought she was dead. I said, but that doesn't change the hurt that she's feeling right now. She was hurt to her core because she risked her life to come back to get him. And he was already married with a child on the way. But how many of y'all know that our disappointment is sometimes God's appointment? And she thought she was coming back to get her husband, but she was coming back to get both of her brothers and 5 other folks and to start a revolution that changed her life and everybody's life for the rest of their life. And I want you to know that I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it sounds like. I don't care what the naysayers say. I don't care what logic says. You press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling. So this is my last one, and I promise. Last lesson. Never let anybody tell you what you can't do. Harriet Tubman, little old woman about my size, was responsible for freeing on her own 75 slaves. Again, through rough terrain, through water, through all kinds of things. But perfect love is what allowed that to happen. See, perfect love doesn't make sense. See, perfect love that Jesus had, that said that, forgive them for they know not what they do. Why would you do that? Perfect love. When we think about Corinthians love, love is patient and love is kind and love is not selfish and love never sees any wrong and love does all of those things. That's the love, right? So I remember when Vince and I first started talking, he always sends me poems, and he sent me this one poem. Baby, remember that poem? It was about love. What is that? When he said it, I was like, I was speechless because I never heard somebody talk about love this way. You remember what it said?
When I say I love you more, I don't just mean I love you.
Hold on one second. You know his voice low. Bring that music down a little bit. Keep it going with this, Lord.
It says, when I say I love you more, don't just mean I love you more than you love me. It means I love you more than the bad days ahead of us. I love you more than any fight that we will ever have. I love you more than the distance between us. I love you more than any obstacle that could ever try to come between us. I love you the most.
So, I want you guys to understand this today. And I don't know who I'm talking to, but that love that Harriet Tubman had for her family, it was one that you've never seen. It didn't make sense. So listen to the words of that poem. I love you more than anything that could come between us. I love you more than any argument. I love you more than any distance. And I don't know who I'm talking to today, but I need you to tap into that love. That I love you more love. Because God is concerned about family on today. See, there's somebody in this audience today that has a strained relationship with their child. You haven't talked to them in a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. There's somebody that even probably has a strained relationship with their parents or their sibling or even a good friend. But when you say you love somebody, I want you to think about that love that Harriet Tubman had. I want you to think about that love more importantly that Jesus Christ had. And I want you to say that I love you more than whatever it is that has caused us to come between one another. Me and Vince, we were having a discussion the other day and we said that sometimes when you argue, you should just stop in the middle of it, just say I love you and see what happens. Now listen, that perfect, regular folks don't understand that. But I'm talking about that perfect love. Because when you say I love you, what does it say? It says, I love you more than anything that could come between us. I love you more than the stupid argument we have. I love you more than distance. I love you more than money. I love you more than any problem. I love you more. So remember, perfect love casts out all fear. And what fear is an emotional response to thinking that something will hurt you or cause you pain. But we serve a God that can do exceedingly, abundantly above all that we could ask or possibly think. And we have to take the focus off of us and our power and put it back on Him. And understand what Paul said. I am persuaded that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nothing will separate me from the love of God. And I want you to know that I love you more. Pray my strength in the Lord.